there, everyone. Welcome to Kat's Podcast. I'll be your host. I'm Kat. First of all, I want to apologize for not being here today for the live show. Believe it or not, I actually was and am still here. For some strange reason, yet though it's too coincidental, I could not do hardly anything at all online today whatsoever. Even my phone was hacked up, and they were working overtime today to try and make sure that I couldn't get my third part of my testimony out, nor do my live show. So don't worry, because that just only fuels me even more to persevere and get the word out there even more and to do a better job at it now. I have tried all day long just to get that third part out, and it will not download. It's ridiculous how hard some people are trying to keep me from exposing them. But I am not scared, and I'll tell you why. Because the good Lord above, He commands me not to be. He commands me in the Bible to not fear any man or even all men. He wants me to fear no snake, no devil, no demon, or nothing. He gives me dominion over every bit of it, and I am thankful and grateful enough to Him to act and or perform as such. I am reading this if it sounds like it. Okay. So I figured, since I kind of went off subject today a bit earlier on my third part, I would go ahead and see. Oh, and you'll be able to see what I mean after it gets downloaded and you can hear it yourself. But it's taken a moment, so I figured that I would just go ahead and write this part down. Okay, so back to when I was with my second husband. Well, I was getting beat up pretty regular, and no one really could help me. When people would try and say something to him, it only made it worse, and if anyone tried to help me at all, I would get beat for it. My very best friend in the whole wide world, Bill, was the absolutely only person in the world who ever stood up and tried to protect me. He did protect me. I will always and forever be so grateful to him for that. But as soon as he started getting his life in order and doing what he was supposed to, and working hard, changing for the better, to do exactly what he was supposed to do so that he could be a free, non incarcerated father and grandfather, and spend at least a moment of his life with his beautiful family, he actually passed away. I'll get to that in a bit, though. But when he took up for me, it was a decision he made that came with some hardship, because he was friends with my abuser, best friends with my abuser's brother, and friends with the whole family. So much so that he was like family. But out of everyone, besides the police doing their job back then, he was the only one ever that took a stand to try and help me. I have actually been beaten up in front of an officer one night, and since he wasn't on duty, I guess he figured that he didn't need to concern himself with trying to help me. I forgive everyone, though. I think if I were in their shoes, what would I do? And I'd like to think that I'm still going to be me and fight my heart out to help someone in that situation, but I'm not completely normal per se anyway. Like, I hate speaking about all of this stuff. But it is what it is. I hate even more having that I had to live it. But the only way to get over anything like this is to face it, talk about it, grieve, give it to God, and let go so that you can be finished with it. My ex used to get different little weapons and things, and he would sit and sharpen, sand, shine, whatever, whatever on these weapons or whatever he'd got. Within 2 weeks' time, of obtaining them, whatever it was, he would try it out by using it on me. So really, the proper term, I guess, would be I was trying it out for his benefit. It got tried out on me for his benefit. Well, when he did beat me sometimes, he would get me into our car, truck, whatever we had at the time, and he would ride me around on the back roads for hours at a time while he took shots at me, knocking me out by either blunt force trauma, strangulation, and believe it or not, he drugged me quite often. That made it easy for him to obtain any type of money, material things he could, to trade whatever was necessary for him. It was a living hell. Who really, what really hurt was not only him training me to take all of his crap for all of his issues and to be the blame for them, Even some of his family and friends acted as though he was in the right by doing what he was doing to me, like it was his job and I was so messed up and stupid and wrong that I deserved it. Well, on one of the 2-hour country rides, I was a complete mess. Black, blue, um, bloody, black, blue, swollen, and just tore up. Turn the page. I don't know how I even talked him into this, but I talked him into taking me to the truck stop, which was close, so that I could try and slip into the bathroom and clean myself up and use the bathroom. And I wouldn't draw any attention to myself in any way whatsoever. I would keep my head down and go straight in and straight out, and no one would even know. People, it looked like I just had a head-on collision with a freight train. I wouldn't be able to not draw attention. Usually there was a county sheriff in that area, and what I was praying for is that he would be around. We was driving in, and I seen no police, but that place was completely packed. He pulled me up close to the doorway, well, as close as he could, which was 4 or 5 parking spots down from the door. When I got out, everybody was staring at me, and I mean everybody. I started to panic and pick up my pace, and I was so scared and I had been so traumatized and tormented that I started to run and scream and help me, please, somebody, please, he's trying to kill me. As I reached and grabbed the door, I felt him grip the back of my head by my hair and just jerk my head so hard, and he drug me like a rag doll, punched me the whole way to the car. He threw me in with a few choice words, and he got in and drove away. I remember people just staring with their mouths wide open, looking more confused than they probably had ever been in life, just in a complete shock. They just watched what was going on and happening. That's why I say I wonder how I would have acted. But if I were to have sit there and witnessed what those people had, I probably would have looked exactly like they did that day. So, like, where do they do that at? I have overheard him talking to drug dealers, trying to make a deal with them to sell me, rent me, whatever you call it. And I remember the first time I snuck out and left knowing I would have to pay later, but I was devastated. It got to where he made it clear that I would do whatever was needed to get the drugs at the time. Yet when it was over and the drugs were gone, I had to play along with the fact that what a whore I am for doing what I was for what I was forced to do, that I needed punished. So it was a no-win situation for me. I totally lost myself. I didn't even know who I was anymore. Finally, I started finding these girls around town that was always feeding for dope, meds, alcohol, something, and they didn't mind doing such things to obtain them. So one day, after lining out a few things with a few of them, he straight out told me one day I was going to be selling some ass to give him some drugs. And I started walking down the street, and he asked, "What are you doing? Can't you hear me? Where are you going?" I said, "I guess I'm going to get some ass to sell because I'm sick of being forced to sell mine and still get beat for it later." So believe it or not, that did save me a little bit. But what is the old saying? Close only matters in horseshoes, and this ain't a game of horseshoes, people. They would have to argue, hell no, the horseshoes has way more value than she does. Certainly found myself in quicksand, lost somewhere deep, deep in a jungle, in the pitch black dark at night, all alone, just steadily sinking, even more and more and more, if that were possible. It became normal to me to have black eyes, bruises, pain like I had never experienced before on a constant basis. I tried hard to dive into the drugs, but what no one realized, well, Bilbo did. He was not about to see me have any sort of pleasuring feeling, good feeling, peaceful feeling, joy, happiness, hope, help, love, or any feeling similar. He could not stand that more than anything in the world. So I did my best to at least try to get some sort of cheap alcohol and stay as far away from any sort of reality at all. I wasn't allowed to let the police help me, or I would have to pay for that. Anyone or anything I showed any type of care or love for, it would be abruptly destroyed and right before my eyes. Or he would do whatever he had to do so to kill it, steal it, and destroy it, preferably all three. He wanted me hopeless, helpless, alone, and unworthy, deeply traumatized, tortured, tormented, rejected, abandoned, neglected, depressed, and etc. That was that was the only way he could get any sort of satisfaction or relief of his circumstances, which was my fault anyway, too. So, hey, what do you say? When I had my daughter, he did as always and expected. He stole every painkiller I had to sell it or whatever he did for drugs, leaving me to deal with the pain. You have no idea the level of pain and torment I have had to deal with on a daily basis, and no one wanted me around, it seemed, because of how messed up I was, and I was made to feel as though I deserved everything and anything that I got. Oh well, like you made your bed, so lie in it. But no, people, I did not make that bed. And as for me, I didn't want to live anyway, so don't worry. Just like it felt, they were all just the same. I was completely aware of what my future looked like. I knew, like I knew, he would go too far as he did every freaking time. I would end up unalive. He would panic and leave me in whatever state he had left or he'd done me, and one of my poor baby girls would probably be left with the burden of finding me in that position. After all of the broken jaws, the 9 screws and metal titanium plate in my left arm as to appear like a human elbow or arm, broken noses, brain swellings, broken ribs, the knockouts, the money, the stability, the love, security, care, materials, life, hope, future, happiness, peace, security, family, friends, dreams, black eyes, knots, concussions, brain injuries, loss, and etc. I just could literally go on and on about everything, but I gave up. I came to the point that how I came to the point that I would be doing my girls a service if I were unalive. At least they would never have to worry or wonder ever again if I were dead or alive, was I safe, and why didn't I love them. My life hurts way more than any death ever could have. You've got to understand why I will not be silenced by any secret service, nor by any witch or warlock coven, nor the whole city, county, state, or whatever. God found me in my time of despair, and He saved me. He saved my life. He saved my daughter's life at 9 years old. He's healed my relationships with family, and at least enough to where I can be around to have the opportunity or chance to try and show them that I love them, and things aren't always what they seem. So to hand someone a couple of someone's, or even a whole community of someone's, to take over, how dare they try to take over God's place in my life and be so highly exalted over him that they appoint themselves as judge, juror, and executioner of my life and feel they know anything whatsoever about me and or my life, and they literally have only been in my life but a few years, and that was after I got free from that single devil that they never even were aware of but by word of mouth. And they were still so envious and jealous of my life that along with anyone else I have, or that they have any knowledge of, to whatsoever, they that I have any wait a minute any interest whatsoever in, any previous interest in, or any previous areas of my life that they spent with me, um, or if there was even a possibility that they might get to spend any of my life with me, that girl goes after each and every one of them with her Jezebel, lustful, prideful, arrogant, jealous, covetous, envious, dark, ugly spirit in full manipulation mode of using her witchcraft, black magic, narcissistic, evil, sadistic, deceitful, Judas, God hater, insane in the brain ass, who is an occultist in the occult and a witch in a community of coven and Coven, who has an altar and voodoo dolls to represent everyone she knows, where they throw sexual orgies that consist of performing certain sexual acts with not only humans but animals as well, in order to call in these demonic entities, allowing them to take over their vessel and exert control, in order to have them to destroy, steal, kill anything that I love, anyone I love, have loved, could love, plan to love, and taking any and everything I own, have owned, plan to own, could own, or wish to own, including my clout, my identity, my spiritual gifts, wealth, abundance, creativity, inheritance, influence, blessing, favor, whatever. She wants to completely snuff me out and take me over. I hear she and he, my ex, not the one I was talking about, they want to see me alone, homeless, rejected by everyone, and begging for my life to them. I heard that the female actually traded her soul to the devil just to see this through. How or have you ever met someone so evil and sadistic? She has headed up groups to go around forming smear campaigns against me, not only one, but anyone they know of in my family. They have slandered, lied, manipulated, and deceived anyone they possibly can with lies and trickery, including the police. They've made false accusations, police reports, stolen my identity, made fake profiles online as to appear to me as to trying to appear as me. And the list goes on and on. I bet you're wondering, what in the world did I do to make her hate me so bad? Well, I went too far, people. I did it this time. I was so good to that girl and treated her without judgment and condemnation, and I liked her when nobody else did. And I gave her more chances than she ever even deserved to try and be my friend right one more time, and not a friend of me who is constantly plotting and planning against me, but doing it in a sneaky, covert, cowardice way, like she's secret and no one, including myself, has enough intelligence to even know or figure it out. See how I deserve that, people? See, how could I be so bad, you know? She cannot stand that people like me and that people do not like her. The only way people can be around her is when she's got them in a deep illusion with black magic, witchcraft, voodoo, but her favorite is sex magic. Okay, that's all I wrote, so I am going to go ahead and close it up for today. I'm sorry about the live show, and I'm going to try to get some more stuff out there. Please, please, please like, share, and subscribe. I really, really could use your assistance and help. And thank you for letting me vent here and expose some of these things that really do need exposed, because people, this girl has infiltrated the police even. I'll just get to all that. But anyway, um, let's say the Lord's Prayer. I'd like to. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thine will be done, on earth, in this place, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our trespasses, as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. I pray in your precious, holy, mighty, beautiful, sweet, gorgeous, omniscient name. I praise you, Lord. Thank you for watching over me and keeping me safe even with all this crap. In Jesus' mighty name, amen. Okay, until next time, family. Hasta la vista, baby.